What is up, guys? This is Tristan, aka Young Pressure. Today we're going over the ugly truth of the pressure washing business, the stuff no one tells you about, not the sexy stuff, but the reason why a lot of people go out of business. But the best part about this video is I'm going to tell you how to fix that. You ready for this? Let's get into it. So the first thing that we have is oversaturation, quote unquote oversaturation. The $49 guy, the $99 guy, it's in every single area. And I can tell you this with full justice that if you've been in this business long enough that you've probably gotten undercut by a $99 guy beforehand. Now, the $49 guy and the $99 guy will go out of business. That's just inevitable. That will happen. So in order to evade this, you can't be that. You cannot be that. You got to be able to charge accordingly, and you cannot be the $49 or the $99 guy. And how you can charge accordingly is by providing a ton of value. Cool? But I will keep you wary that there are areas that are extremely saturated. But guess what? That still shouldn't stop you from potentially growing something. I promise you, if you could provide value, you could charge accordingly, and you can do great jobs, you can propel in any area. So, number 2, it takes way more hours than you think. Now, this is true. I'll tell you this. It takes way more hours than you think. It's irregular work hours. There's going to be hours where you need to go on a $5,000 night job, but you got to do it, right? And then you got to wake up at 8 o'clock, and then you got to go and do another house wash or a building wash, whatever it happens. That's what happens in this business. Now, the fix is that you can delegate systems into place so that you don't have to do it and your workers do. And how you can get workers is by charging accordingly. Boom. But it does take a little bit more hours than you think. You're developing skills on the way there, how to market, how to sell, how to relate to people, how to build charisma. So there's stuff like that. And to be honest, that's a sacrifice that you got to take, and that's the truth of it. But there's a quick, easy fix, and you can delegate people to do those night shift jobs if you don't want to work the night shift. Cool? Okay. Third is probably the biggest point that I want to get to. The biggest point that I want to get to is inconsistent income. Let's talk about this real quick. So, pressure washing is notorious, quote unquote, notorious for being a seasonal business. And that could be true if you're in Alaska or if you're in a very cold state, sure. But guess what? You can still make more money in those 8 months than you can in a whole year doing 9 to 5. I can promise you that. And what I've noticed is that if you get emotional towards these down times with your business, it's going to be hard for you to sustain that. So if you can neutralize your emotions and recognize, hey, this is probably going to be a bad month, okay, but we know that we're going to get it next month, okay? In primarily, at least in the South, the summer is not that great of a season. It's just not. But then it picks back up in the end of the year, and then it's great at the beginning of the season. So when you can recognize the flow of the business, then you can allocate commercial jobs towards smaller months so that you can have a consistent flow of income rather than be inconsistent. This was a huge point that I learned from my first year, is that if you can allocate your bigger jobs to these slower months, then you're going to have consistent income. Quick, easy fix. Okay. 4, it takes more money than you think. So yes, you could start with $0 and propel yourself forward, but in order to scale it, you need to reinvest into it aggressively. Mr. Beast did this with his YouTube channel. He aggressively reinvested all of his AdSense and put it into the videos. And look where it is now. I see it as a commonality with a lot of people. If you are scared to spend money, then it's going to be hard to propel yourself business and you and your business forward. I promise you. So whether that's with marketing material, whether that's with equipment, whether that's with workers, it takes more money than you actually think. So get the thought process of like $10,000 is a lot of money. It's not. I promise you. So when you can recognize, hey, it takes more money than you think. Okay, well, we can just aggressively invest back into the business. And when you do that, the numbers get bigger. When you feed the monster, the more you take. Give, and take. I promise you that. Okay, so the next step is physical wear and tear. This is the ugly truth, right? And the best fix of this is just get in shape. If you're fat, slob, or if you're out of shape, I don't care how old you are, but if you don't work out, it's going to be hard for you to sustain this. So make sure you're working out, because the physical wear and tear is real. You'll get sore after a job up, after a long day, after walking and stuff, because it's probably the only exercise you do. So make sure that you are working out. I can wholeheartedly tell you that. If you're fat, if you're nasty, if you're a slob, don't look into this. Seriously, because then you'll just wear your body out and leave the industry because it's too hard on your body, which you don't want. Or another fix, if you are that, which I hope you're not, but you can delegate people that are in better shape than you. So that's another fix. Okay. My next point, and this is going to go by pretty quick, but if you don't track your numbers, it's going to be hard for you to scale. And if you don't know how to get customers, you will run out of business. So let's get to point A of this. If you don't track your numbers, it's going to be hard for you to scale. Best way you can track your numbers. If you spend $350 on 100-yard signs, track how many leads you get, and then track how many of those leads you actually close. So the bigger the sample size that you have, the more accurate this representation of how many leads come in and how many you close. When you can elongate the sample size, you can be able to print money. That's the basis of it, okay? You can do this through Microsoft Excel. You could do it in a Google Docs sheet, whatever you want to do. Your CRM, cool. So if you don't know how to get customers, this is B. If you don't know how to get customers, how you will run out of business. So how do we get customers? That's probably the biggest question I get, is how do we get customers in this business? I'll tell you, at least for me, my 3 top form marketings have been Google My Business, yard signs, and referrals. This has been this past year. So if you want to utilize these things, do it. Go and get a bunch of yard signs. You can get it on UZ Marketing. They're great. And I don't have an affiliate link, so I'm not promoting anything. But you could go on UZ Marketing. They're $350 for 100 yard signs. Establish a Google My Business. It's free. It's free stuff. It's super easy. Just click the top right hand of your Google and apply for a Google My Business. It's free for anyone, and you can accumulate reviews on that, and it builds rapport as a business. And then 3 is get referrals. Ask for reviews. Put them in Facebook groups. Put them on your Google My Business. Put it on your Facebook page, because people value the opinion of other people online more than their friends. Actually, it's weird, but that's how it is. But if you don't know how to get customers, you'll run out of business. And that's the ugly truth of it. It's facts. Okay. So I see a lot of people, they're like, oh my God, pressure washing. This is such a unique opportunity, yada, yada, yada. But if you don't know how to get customers, it kind of sucks. So let's get into the next point. All right. If you pay for cheap labor, you get cheap results. Makes you think. So you should be able to charge accordingly. Back to our point A. All of our arrows are pointing back to point A. If you pay for cheap labor, you get cheap results. And people aren't going to be motivated by a $99 price point. They're just not. Would you be motivated? Probably not. I for sure as hell not going to be motivated by a $99 pressure washing job. I'm just not. And you're not even going to be able to pay someone effectively if you're doing those types of jobs. So if you pay for cheap labor on big projects, you're going to get cheap results. And ultimately, if you get cheap results, you're probably not going to build a relationship with these property managers. And ultimately, your business will run out of business. So pay for great employees and pay them great. And what does that look like? So, to be honest, sometimes I pay my guys $50 an hour, and that's how it goes. I go by a daily rate, and I'll make sure that they get paid correctly that day, that they are good. And I want them to know that I appreciate them. The best feeling is when you can provide for someone and that they tell you, like, dude, thank you for this opportunity because it means a lot. That's when you know you're doing stuff right. But when you pay for cheap labor, and you're going to get cheap results, and you don't want cheap results in your business because that'll build your reputation. And I see a lot of people trying to do this. Don't be that guy. I guarantee you. Okay. And the truth be told is that a lot of people do suck at cleaning. It's crazy, but it's true. So be diligent in how you train them. Be simple and educational with how to clean because it's not a hard process. You know that. So make sure you can train them really well. Next point. Chemical mishandling. Yes, you heard me right. Do not mix acid with SH because it'll blow up. I've seen it. Don't mix chemicals that you don't know that mix well together. Promise you're not going to get the results that you want, and it may result in a very treacherous result, which you don't want. I can hardly guarantee. I've seen people blow up their shit, and it's not fun. So make sure that you know the chemicals. Just stick to the sodium hypochlorite. If you're using acid, make sure to just use acid. If you're using degreaser, make sure to just use degreaser. You can mix EBC and SH, sure, but just make sure you know the chemicals that you're working with. That's simple, guys. Let me regurgitate all these points back to you because these are the stuff no one's really talking about. Oversaturation, quote unquote, oversaturation. I can't start a business, yada, yada, yada. The $49 guy can cut you off sometimes. It's facts. It'll happen. But probably not your customer. So you can propel your business in an oversaturated market that's happened and it's going to continue to happen. So be great and provide value. It takes way more hours than you think. It's true. Irregular hours to fix, delegate, and put systems into place. Inconsistent income. That can be true if you live in a crazy environment, but you can allocate big jobs into those colder months so it evens out to make consistent income. It takes more money than you think. Marketing equipment, keep aggressively investing into your business, and those numbers will just basically become nominal to you. Physical wear and tear. Just literally work out, dude. Work out or delegate something into someone that's in better shape than you. Cool? If you don't track your numbers, it's going to be hard for you to scale, so make sure you track your numbers. If you don't know how to get customers, you will run out of business. And I just told you my 3 forms of marketing that have worked with me and will probably work for you. If you pay for cheap labors, you get cheap results, so pay your guys well and make sure they are well. A lot of people suck at cleaning. It's crazy, but just make sure that you're educationally right with them and treat them good in that educational perspective so that they can clean righteously for you. And chemical mishandling, don't mix acid and SH. Please don't. But guys, I love you. You already know that. I express that. The channel's growing, which is freaking awesome. I really do appreciate the support. So if you can, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. And I've got a whole video over why people run out of business. You should go and take a look at it. It's a high performing video for me and it'll really help you out. I'll attach it in the middle of the screen. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. Peace.